have found myself a CT Ham street lamp. Yeah, look at this. Isn't that cool? Yeah, we got a lot of checking out on this thing, man. And I've seen a number of these in shops, and they're always out of reach financially, for sure. But I got real lucky here, and all the ones I've seen did not have this print on them. You know, there was a ham by these classic CT Ham vents here, but there was not print on here, and it even has like a patent date. So we're gonna, I don't know. And it's got green paint on it, which I'm assuming is original because and I knew that they painted the undersides white. And you can see there is. I'm not gonna touch that white paint. I mean, I'll clean it up and everything, but yeah. So I'm not exactly sure what approach I want to take with this because until we really find the parts. But I just want to clean it up. I'm not gonna like strip the paint, not yet, but we'll clean it up. Oh yeah, you can see the cracks in the paint. Great old thing. Pretty cool. Man, I'm excited to start finding parts for this. And it could take me years though to find all these parts. At least considering my budget is very, very, very small. I felt inspired when I found this. And I pulled the trigger on it. Oh boy. But, so, we're going to look it over. And, I'm wondering where they put all the patent dates. If they put patent dates on these things. Maybe I'll find that while I'm looking over. I haven't had a close look at this. I really haven't gotten up close and looked at really any of it. So, we're going to do that together. All right, let's check it out. I want to look. This old beat up paint. So cool. But I'll tell you, look at the tin, looks great. I mean, I think all this tin is preserved underneath this paint. I don't know where my future motivation will come from. I wouldn't feel right, I don't think. At least right now, I don't feel right about getting rid of that paint. So I think we're going to try to keep that painted patina. We'll clean it up, though. I mean, we'll clean it up because it's dirty. And, yeah, wow, that's a great tin on this side. But I've never had one of these, so I don't know exactly how they work. Okay, it's got a little stopper on it there. This must be the riser for the globe. Which, by the way, I found a globe, and I'll show it to you before this video's out. Found a beautiful globe to go in here. So this thing apparently was hanging in a barn. Oh, there's a dent. I didn't notice that before. All right, so this was hanging. And I had it hanging here for a couple of days. I'm gonna get this off. I may come up with something, some kind of hook to, keep this baby hanging. Because this is really hard to find a space to put around the house. I'm trying to put together something. I found an old stand from like a bird cage. So I was thinking what I'm going to do, and I'll tell you this while it's fresh in my head, but I'm going to go out, and I got a tree that's fallen in the woods behind the house. I'm going to go find a stump that is this circumference. This is what I think I'm going to do. Maybe we'll probably find a new idea while we're working on it here, but find an old thing here, so like a stump that this will slide on, and then that hunk of tree, I'll put a hole in the bottom of that and put it down on the top of this stand. And maybe we'll have a stand to hold this thing. All right, so where to start? Let me put my uppy-closey glasses on. Come on now. Oh, wow. Huh, 1886. Registered 1886. I don't know if that is our last patent date or anything. I'm trying to look around on here, see if I can see. But the paint that's on here is pretty thick. So if it's on here, I don't know if I'm gonna find anything. I'm just looking here. This thing is in perfect shape. I can see where this is bent a little bit. Oh yeah, these tabs in here. Oh boy, I don't want to hurt those tabs. These look soldered on. Well, that's a repair that I may hold off on, but I do see that this is crushed down a little bit. But I worry about those tabs breaking if I undo them. As they look to be riveted on there, I mean, there's just no... Yeah. Can't imagine they'll be all that rusty. They don't look... I mean, this thing's not rusty. Got this weathering on it, but... Well... I think maybe I'll just... pick up here. I may want, I think maybe I will do, I'm going to sample that with the, my bench grinder wheel here, just for this part. And it's good about leaving paint behind and everything, but it just gets rid of this oxidation. The rest of this, I'll probably have to go through a half a box of nylon bit. I think clean this up, or we may just do steel wool. We'll do some sampling and see. Number 9 Globe Street. Okay. Well, maybe that's what I'm going to do now is just take this to the bench grinder and we'll work our way down and look at things and learn about things. Alright. So let me do a little bit of that. And we'll continue here with this Christmas holiday edition of Birdland Labs. Hold on a minute. We're going to go with some 800 grit all over the place here and clean it all up. Then we'll steel wool it. And that's really about it until we start getting some more parts. But I really want to look it over inch by inch and learn some stuff. I don't know. I don't think I want to take that off and straighten those tabs out. They are crushed down pretty good. I don't want to press my luck. I think it was probably stored in a place. They just crushed it on top. So in this part here, it has more oxidation than the rest of it because of the heat. So this thing saw endless burning, and all the heat from there it takes protection of the metal away, unless, I mean, I don't, I'm sure they had their versions of high temperature paint, at the turn of the century or whatever, but heat will, pretty much remove any protection a metal has. Really, you just bombard it. That's why, that's why your gas grills rust out. Okay. There we go. Actually, maybe this top part I'm going to go... I'm going to try 320 grit on the top here. And then I'll do the 800. It's just a little heavier here for this part. And maybe down here. We'll see. I got to feel it out. I gotta feel it out and see what I think we want to do here. So, all right. So let's try 320 grit. Here, we'll start with that. Still, you can see all the green paint. Still, even with all the heat off this thing, you can see that a lot of that green paint just kind of still clung to it around the solders and everything. Okay, so I think we may stick with that 320 grit. At least to get these top surfaces. We'll probably, the parts that did not see the weathering as heavy are not going to need the 320 grit. So the question is, what is the best angle for me to get at this? Okay, I guess I'm just gonna have to go in small sections like this. That way that you can see and I can see what's happening here. This is a very awkward machine. All right, let me see here. Yeah, probably another, just maybe another application of the 800 grit. I just wanted to see. I was sampling there. I did the steel wooling, but I wanted to see what is happening here. I can see what looks to be prior scraping marks. So this was probably, there probably was some type of attempt to strip old paint before putting new paint on it, and I can see it. It's definitely not done by anything I did, but there's definitely wire wheel kind of a thing going on here. So maybe the street lamps were taken down and, you know, refurbished, repainted, and put back up. That is very possible. So now, so we got the top highly weathered stuff down with that 320 grit. I think I'm gonna go to 800 grit, get here, and then we'll go down these air tubes and everything and start exploring the bottom there and see what is going on. Because I've never had one of these, but you know, I know the theory of how they operate. Yeah, okay. So we're gonna put 800 grit on here. Well, this is certainly the largest lantern we have had here in the lab, if you don't count my perfection heaters or my blue flame heater, which are really giant lanterns. All right, so let's do 800 grit here. Maybe I'll even end up venturing there in here, and you know, we'll see how I feel. But a lot of this work I got to kind of do in my lap, which is probably the easiest. Oh yeah, see, now there's those freaking, yeah. Maybe I'm only seeing these little like tool marks because of my headlamp. My headlamp shows a lot of crap you don't see. When you turn it off, stuff disappears. Let's see, can I get at that? A little rustiness there because of the inside baffle, or the inside of the chimney here, because of the heat. And I can see it on the inside here too. That's where the most of the oxidation's at. Oh, man, I just wish I can get at those tabs. I really don't. This one looks like it's got a crack in it. I'm not going to mess with those. Just not going to do it. Not going to do it. Okay, let's get at this with the 800 grit. Let's see. I may need a little side view here. Let's see. Oh, let's see. I'm going to have to give it another little shot here with this. Super light embossing. Oh, super strong on one side, and it just goes flat. I see an 8. See a December, a February, and an October patents. CT Ham Company patented, applied for. Wow, this could be very early in the street lamp life of a CT Ham. Yeah, the December, not there. The February, I only see an 8. The October ends at like Damn. Well, I'm not, I don't want to go nuts getting that down to 10 or nothing to get at that. But, there's a possibility that I could find on the web somewhere another lamp. Our restoration here progresses, finding parts and all that kind of thing, and what those parts look like. I mean, they could have a different patina. They could have different colored paint on them. We just won't know until we find some parts. And this needs all the parts except for the globe. And I actually have a burner, which I think goes to a Dietz Pioneer, which is like this. And I wonder if they're interchangeable. I don't know. Oh, yeah. Okay, there's a couple tabs that are busted there. Oh, yeah, I'm not touching them. Not touching them tabs. That can stay just like that. I'm not going to be piling stuff on top of this, so we're good there. So now you can see what's going on this side of things. All right, so let's check it out. I was thinking, throw some 409 or something on there and try that, but no, it's beyond that. It's awkward because I do not want to set it on that crown, which is having that problem. Now, let me see here. I may have to do this in my lap, folks. You get to see me in my red sweatpants. I've ruined a lot of pairs of pants in this lab, so yeah, sweatpants when I'm working. I mean, heck, when you're home, dress like you're home. All right, so let's try this a little bit. Let's see. This is all going to look much different once we throw some preservative linseed oil on it. All right, so now, oh. Oh boy, all this stuff I breathe in the lab probably has something to do with the lower respiratory infection that I have been taking antibiotics for the last 5 days. What do you know? Okay, so now some air tubey action. Let's look around here. These big, massive air tubes. Ah, we had visitors in this air tube right here. Mud wasp. Okay, I have to get that out of there, Mr. Mud Wasp. Alright, I can't see nothing because my glasses are covered in crap. Crap! Alright. Okay, good. These air tubes are so massive. Okay. Love it. All right. So this cool little thing. Okay, well that's had the elements hit it a little bit. I'm going to hit that on the bench grinder immediately. Clean that up, and this looks to be brass, and it's capped on the bottom. That's probably why. Because it got water down in there, and the water just stayed there and worked on this. You know what I mean? Okay, let me hit that with the bench grinder and be back in 1 second. Okay. I wonder how lucky I am to have this part, as it seems to me. Like, out of this whole thing, this is the most highly oxidized part. I'm curious as to whether that is an issue with other people with lamps. So that's the little lock that's supposed to, when you put the globe up, right? That should be. Neat. Okay, let's not lose that part. And boy, air tubes, I could probably just steal one of these things. Yeah, that brightens that paint right up. Nice. Yeah, probably the air tubes. At least this section here. Let me just steel wool these, and then I'm going to want to start looking at all these mechanisms and all this other cool shit. All right, so let me. Oh, yeah. There's going to be a lot of me. There's going to be a lot of me saying, "Oops, sorry, you missed that," because I'm not used to have something so gigantic here in the lab. Something so cool. All right. Little steel woolly action on these air tubes right here. Okay. Now, what do we have here? That is our manifold. So let me show you this Dietz burner I have, which I think goes in a Dietz Pioneer. There we go, this monster. You could just envision that. Oh, it would be up here on top of the fount, obviously. And let me get the globe here. Yeah, look at this beauty, man. Look at this beautiful amethyst. This giant amethyst ham globe. You can see ham right there. Pretty freaking cool, man. Wait, is this a number 9 globe? Uh-oh. Is this the right globe for this? I don't know, man. I don't know. I feel like that lip should be holding on there. It's really close. I don't know. Well, we'll see. That would suck. That would suck if I found that. Just the day after I found this. Right. Okay. So mechanisms. Okay. So I think this is a riser because there's supposed to be a metal ring, I believe, around the bottom of the globe with a little tab on it that I think hooks there. So that's how you raise the globe up. Okay. I think let's do some 320 grit all along the bottom here. This is for the heavier paint. There's a lot of repaints probably. So down around here, we're going to go, by the way, I went for a 180 grit to kind of get up in the chimney there. Because it's just, it's heavily oxidated. And there, I just wanted to get the big chunks off. All right, 320 grit. And we're going to play here on the bottom, get this all cleaned up. And we'll probably come back over it with 800 and finish it up. And then steel wool it. Maybe we'll just throw some linseed oil on this baby and display it until we can start gathering some parts. All right. Some steel wool in here, and we'll oil it up because, like I said, who knows how long it'll be until I find the next part. Now, I possibly have a line on some parts, but problem is, the person said, he goes, oh, well, I have one of these, just by kind of looking at it. I don't know if he knows what he has is a ham or deeds or, you know, some kind of replica or something. He said, he goes, oh, I got all these parts. Just the top part got crushed, and I have these parts. So, of course, me, you know, I'm thinking of worse, like, yeah, there's no way. There's no way. I couldn't get that lucky to find parts that quick after finding this thing. But, hey, wouldn't it be great? So, if that's possible, in a couple of days, on the upcoming weekend here, I'm going to go see. But the other cool thing is I got a buddy. I got a buddy that has a couple of Dietz Pioneer lamps that are as complete as this. So he needs all the parts for both of those. He wants to have them authentic and burning, not electrified, but burning ones. He wants to line his driveway with a couple of them. So I've been looking for parts for this baby and for a Dietz Pioneer, or two Dietz Pioneer. I'm sure these air tubes are gigantic, so I'm sure there's other crap up there to be discovered in the, ooh, man, used a lot of steel wool. Holy moly, that's a whole pad. That's a whole pad right there. Science is fun, right? So yeah, I think what we'll do now, I'll brush it off here, and we'll throw a quick bit of linseed oil on it, clean it up. I think it'll look really nice with some oil on it, but the oil is to protect it, and aesthetics are a great side effect of treating it. All right, so let's get some oil. Let's see, why don't I use this brush? I was going to throw this brush out. I used it on I got a nail bucket that still had 20 pounds of nails rusted together in one giant nugget on the bottom. And I got it all out, and the nail bucket cleaned up real nice. But it was very, very rough cut wood on this nail bucket. So it soaked this stuff up. Yeah, there's chunks of it in here. But, all right. I'll do a new batch, and I got a new bottle of linseed oil. This is the last of the old batch, so let's put it on here. Here we go, folks. Oiling up time. Let's get it wiped off, and then we'll flip it around and do the bottom. And I do believe one of these tabs, ugh, what is all this crap on here? I do believe, no, that one of these tabs has broken. Yep. Well, I was trying to stretch it back out there a little bit, I think. That's unfortunate, man. But who knows? Maybe by the time we have a new piece to add, maybe I will have learned something about how to replace those tabs. It's a completely different color once it's cleaned up. It's like a hunter green. I would say hunter green, which is my favorite color. I love that hunter green. All right, so I don't know what this is going to do with this white paint here, but let's throw it on there. It's going to hold a lot of it because it's very thick chunks of that old white paint. But we got all the excess off, so there's not going to be any more chunkage. There's not going to be no chunkage. This paint is on there, man. This paint is on there. Now, granted, I would say that the tin underneath it's probably pristine, as its original paint. But we'll see what our other parts bring. Like I said, they could be a completely different color, look completely different, and it may just bring us to getting this paint off of here. But we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Wow, look how dark that paint comes out. Wow. Man. All right, let's continue with our oil in here. Oh, a little more wiping off here because of my fingerprints. So yeah, now some more learning. Now some more learning to do about these babies. And for me to figure out if there are two sizes of them. Because of that globe. That concerns me. Is this a much rarer version? Or is it a less rare, or least rare version? I don't know. But all the other ones I've seen, the the tops of the crowns didn't have embossing on them. This thing's beautiful, man. But all right, let me try to figure a way for us to get a better look at it rather than sitting right here. Hold on a second. Yeah, that's a much better look at it here. Very nice. So yeah, I'm gonna work on something to display this on. Like I said, I don't know how long it's gonna be until I have other parts to continue this baby. Very cool. And there is our nice, big, gigantic amethyst ham globe. So yeah, it says here number 9 globe. Is that a number 9 globe? I don't know. I'll have to take precise measurements to figure that out. So, yeah, I'm not very concerned about this. It's not going anywhere. There are some remaining tabs. I'm just not going to touch it, that's all. Oh yeah, Hunter Green. You know, I wonder, could the towns order them to come painted in the color scheme of the town's streets? Interesting question, right? All right, folks, that's going to do it here for this beautiful CT ham street lamp. And until I have more parts, we will conclude this video. And of course, if there is a second part, look down in the description of this video and you'll see, oh, here is a link to the next part of this video. If you don't see one at this point, that means I haven't done another video yet. Okay, folks, thank you so much for stopping by the lab. This is a beauty. It's going to be what a project. Man, oh man. And till next time, folks, don't you go change.
We'll be back with the Magic Tunes for the Armada Room's 2-hour disco swing party after this short break. Till then, don't you go changing.
Sit, Ubu, sit. Good dog.